There's a raid returning in Destiny 2 in Season 22, and that can only mean one thing. We will finally get our hands on some classic Destiny weapons, and if the rumours are true, then we will be seeing some of these OG Destiny 1 weapons very soon. The Fang of Yut, the Hunger of Crota, and of course the most infamous sniper rifle of all time, the Black Hammer, which was the precursor to the Black Spindle, and more recently the Whisper of the Worm, forming part of the Holy Trinity of Year 1 loadouts paired with the Fatebringer and Galahorn. However, this then of course means that the raid exotic from Crotas End will be returning, and is it about to break the Destiny 2 sandbox as we know it? Necrochasm was originally super difficult to obtain because it basically had two separate RNG drops tied to it. First, you had to find the Husk of the Pit, which dropped from a random hive knight called a Blade of Crota from I believe in the Cosmodrome, and then once you'd managed to find this so-called common drop, you then had to essentially level it up twice. First by getting a bunch of kills to upgrade it to the Eidolon ally, and then you finally had to jump back into the hard mode version of the Crotas End Raid. This was because you needed to beat Crota on hard mode to get a chance of dropping the Crux of Crota to infuse it into the weapon and unlock the Necrochasm. This was very heavy on RNG, and with loot lockouts each week in the raid, it made Necrochasm a very rare sight. This exotic quest was updated somewhat with the Rise of Iron DLC, whereby the Husk became a random drop from killing Hive, resulting in the Crux of Darkness quest, which streamlined your way to obtaining it. Necrochasm is an arc auto rifle which sat in the kinetic slot in Destiny 1, and it had a ton of great perks on it too, giving it potential to be an absolute monster. It was however a 900 RPM auto rifle, which is currently an archetype we don't have in Destiny 2. If it was to be updated to the current sandbox as a 900 RPM auto rifle, it could be absolutely broken, with it being the only auto rifle to have such a high rate of fire. Auto rifles currently max out at 720 RPM with things like Crate or even Quicksilver Storm, but it doesn't mean it couldn't happen as the exotic suite business ramps up to 1000 rounds per minute. Necrochasm was famously difficult to use though, even with perks like Zen Moment which tried to keep its stability under control at the high rate of fire, but it did more than make up for it with its exotic perks. With it being 900 RPM, it had pretty low range, making it great for close quarters combat, and so it had the Cascade perk which boosted reload speed on melee kills for a short duration. But it's the Cursebringer perk which is going to make this exotic really stand out. Any kills with this weapon triggered a Curse Thrall explosion. This didn't have to be a precision final blow as any would count, and it leans perfectly into its bullet hose nature. From memory, this got a few buffs towards the end of Destiny 1's life cycle, and I'd hope it maybe has the dial of the explosive damage turned up even more for Destiny 2. Necrochasm is essentially the last raid exotic to be reprised and returned to the game, and it would likely get an exotic catalyst on top of it. Auto rifles are sitting pretty for all types of content at the moment, and so it's set to do bits in the sandbox no matter what archetype it returns in. Hopefully though, it doesn't arrive half-baked, unlike these exotic combos which are arguably the worst. Check out this next video to find out why.